Hey guys, Bix Weir, roadtoroot.com. Let's talk a little more about this missing $100 bills that Steve Mnuchin came on to Lou Dobbs to talk about. That was the only reason he came on to Lou Dobbs yesterday, was to talk about the $1.5 trillion of missing $100 bills. Not missing. He said his answer was, oh, they're in bank vaults around the world. That's bullshit. First of all, anybody who's freaked out enough to make sure that they get their money in cash, not electronic blips on a computer that are held by a bank, would be smart enough to take it out of the bank. Out of the bank. So the fact that the likes of JP Morgan start declaring that this cash is in their vault so they have access to it to cook their books at the end of the year, I think is complete bullshit and needs to be audited. And serial numbers checked, by the way. But there's all kinds of other reasoning and explanation behind the $100 bills. It very well could be that they're printing $100 bills to flood the world with fiat money. Like they said in the Road to Ruta comic books. The end game is about infinity money. We all know Skidmore and Fitz have at least found $30 trillion of unaccounted for money. Why not unaccounted for paper notes too? It's all part of the game. I think the big reason, if there isn't some secret plan behind it, the big reason people would want cash is not because the cash is so great. It's because they don't want the third-party risk of holding their assets in a bank. It's the banks that don't trust each other. That's why they're hanging on to cash. You don't want if you have an electronic blip in a bank, good night. Especially if the banks start to collapse, which I believe they will very soon. I don't think the end of the year because of the repo is going to cause a collapse, but I think it's going to shine a light on, one, cooking the books at the banks, and two, the amount of money needed for bankers to survive every single night. Right now we're up to $430 billion needed tonight for the bankers not to collapse. And by the end of the year, I'm thinking it'll probably hit the total accumulated, and that's not counting the overnight repos. When they get paid back, I take that off the total. I think it'll be up in the $700 billion range, which is the exact same amount they asked for in 2008 and they had to go to Congress. Why aren't they going to Congress now? This is all part of the plan. They need the bailout, and you know they're leveraging when they get the cash from the Fed, they're leveraging it 10-1, so you can say it's actually $7 trillion. The forensic analysis of the 2008 crash was, I think, $28 trillion that was given to the banks. Insane. Absolutely insane. And you get to pay for it through taxes and the inflation that they say there is no inflation. Anyway, interesting thing about the $100 bill. For those of you who've been on the road to Ruta for a while, all kinds of hidden meanings in the new $100 bill, including overthrowing your government, all the gold on. Just look at the bill. Left side is the old fiat money. Nothing new about that one, right? You got Tim Geithner's signature. Have they made any new bills? I think they have. As a matter of fact, this article goes and shows you, I believe, how much they have. Look at that. Look at the red. The $100 notes are just skyrocketing, especially since 2009. More bailouts. Look at that. It goes from $7 billion to $13 billion. Wait. 13 billion. 13. Oh, billions of notes. So times that by 100, right? So yeah, you're getting up to the total would be about 1.5 trillion, just like Mnuchin said. That is a lot. And why are they doing it? What did Ruta say? What did Ruta write in the sand in the original comic book? Print money to infinity, soaking up all the benefits. And what did it say in the new comic book? 9/11, or 11 plus 9. The same time I'll get to that in a second. First, yes, go to Road to Ruta, search for hidden meanings in the new $100 bill, and you're going to find my article. It's a pretty long article about it. This new $100 bill has all kinds of hidden meanings in it. We all know the $1 bill has the pyramid on the back with the all-seeing eye that has everything to do with the gold in the Grand Canyon. There are ancient pyramids in the Grand Canyon. If you haven't seen my work on that, go check it out. But check out the new $100 bill. Check out my article at Road to Ruta. Left side, just like the old one. The right side is completely different. Look at all the gold on it. The Liberty Bell in gold. The fountain pen, the pin with the inkwell, signifying that Congress can end the Federal Reserve at the blink of an eye. All they have to do is sign a little document saying we are pulling the ability for the Federal Reserve to create money out of thin air. That's how easy it is to destroy the Fed. Congress gave the Fed the power. Congress can take it away with the signing of the pen. Also, look what's right. There's a gold 100. Look at what's written right above the 100. It changes from green to gold. It's a really cool bill. It's the part of the Declaration of Independence that says that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute new government, laying its foundations on the principles and organizing its powers in such form as to shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. That says right here. The people to alter or abolish is right above the gold 100. So if you look at the bill right here, it's hard to see because it's written very small. But right here, right above the gold 100, the right of the people to alter or abolish their government. Is there ever been a time in the U.S. history that we need to alter or abolish a government? It would be right now. And yes, this bill was supposed to come out in 2009. There was all kinds of conspiracies around it. I knew it would be special, and then all the gold on it. There's a huge gold 100 on the back of the bill as well. It's like the right side of the bill is just lumped. Go check out that article. And also, I want to show you guys something. The same day that they posted on January 1st, 2007, the Road to Ruta documents, which is Wishes and Rainbows and the Teacher's Guide at the Fed Boston website, they also posted this mini brochure type thing. It's a little booklet about banks. Now, this is 2007. Look at all the gold in this booklet, right even on the front. A kid putting a gold coin into a piggy bank. Right inside, that's the next page. And look at this. A lady with gold coins in her hand going to the ATM. How about that? When was the last time you walked into a bank and the teller gave you cash and you gave him gold? This was the plan in 2007. Destroy the system in 2008 on September 11th. That's when the all the money started running out of the money market fund. And go to a gold standard. It didn't work. We bailed out the banks. So then Satoshi releases the white paper, Bitcoin white paper. What are they going to do this time? Probably gold and Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, Litecoin especially. But we'll see, right? But clearly they are trying to tell us something right here. Look at in the background. This came from the Fed. Look at that background. It's a bar graph of the price of gold. And you don't know if the banker's given the girl the money or taken it from her, and she's given the coins or taken the coins. But that a gold standard would have to be something like that, redeemable at a bank. And yes, we have massive amounts of gold in the Grand Canyon. Massive. And in other places in the U.S. Read Sterling and Peggy Seagrave's book, Gold Warriors. 300,000 tons is the estimate of gold. Jeffrey Christian will say there's only been 200,000 tons ever mined on planet Earth. It's complete bullshit. It's a lie. But yes, gold will not go down in value when it is discovered that there's massive amounts of it because there's even more money, electronic fiat money. So yes, gold should be $5, $10, probably $20,000 right now based on the amount of money they've been printing. But it's not allowed to because it's rigged. Silver's rigged even more. But I want to show you something farther down the line. And there's more pictures in here that'll blow your mind. For example, this one. This is the GATA photo. Those people who know GATA, GATA had a piece of artwork that was made for the GATA army. Oh, here, let me show it to you. It's on my wall. I can't, it's a huge, I got the huge print. But it's a picture of Bill Murphy on top of a horse with a big GATA flag going to a dark and half dark enclosed Federal Reserve Bank with locked doors. And this picture is the exact opposite of that picture. The sun's shining, look at the door is open. That was the plan to go, that is the plan to go back to either a gold standard or a crypto standard or both. But look what's between this picture. There's two stories about why banks fail. Now, the second story is called Bedrock Bank Gets Too Big Too Fast. Bedrock Bank's new president was determined to turn his bank into the region's biggest lender. Bedrock loan officers got the message and started making as many loans as they could for condominium developments, shopping centers, office buildings, high-priced suburban housing developments. Loan applications were not always checked as closely as they have been in the past, and some of the loans were approved more quickly than they had been in the old days. Nobody seemed concerned because the local economy was strong and real estate values were rising rapidly. Does that sound like what happened in 2007, 2006, 2005? Until the big explosion in the real estate market due to the derivatives of Life Masters? Everything seemed fine. Everyone was making money, but then the economy slowed down and things took a turn for the worse. The weak economy forced many businesses to close, leaving lots of vacant office space. Real estate values plummeted and many developers fell behind on their loan payments. In the end, Bedrock Bank was losing so much money on bad real estate loans that government regulators were forced to step in and close it. Can you say Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac? The regulators tried to find a buyer for Bedrock, but no other bank wanted to get stuck with all the loans that had gone bad. Eventually, another bank agreed to buy Bedrock if the federal government would agree to keep many of the problem loans. What does that sound like? That happened. That happened in 2007. And look at the first instance, which did not happen, but is about to happen now. Gusher National Bank slips on falling oil prices. Falling energy prices means cheaper gasoline and lower home heating bills, so falling oil prices must be good, right? Not for everyone. Take the case of Gusher National Bank. Gusher was very aggressive in making loans to oil and natural gas companies that had no problem repaying their loans when energy prices were high. The loans spelled big profits for Gusher, and everyone agreed that Gusher's executives were smart business people who really knew how to make money. Then the economy slowed down and the demand for energy fell. Factories burned less oil and natural gas. Truck drivers, commuters, and vacationers drove fewer miles and burned less fuel. As a result, energy prices dropped sharply, and many energy companies fell behind on their loan payments. Some even stopped making payments altogether. Months passed, oil prices remained low, and more energy companies fell behind on their payments. Finally, Gusher lost so much money to bad loans that government regulators had to step in and close the bank. Gusher had fallen victim to changing economic conditions, falling energy prices, and a high concentration of loans to energy companies. Why is this a big deal? Why am I reading this? Expect more write-downs from oil majors. Published yesterday. On Friday, Royal Dutch Shell announced that it would take a $1.7 to $2.3 billion write-down for the fourth quarter. Another financial blow to an industry dealing with oversupply and low prices. The write-down is a result of bad macro outlook, Shell said in a press release, which refers to the slowdown in the global economy, weak demand growth, and relatively low prices for gas and oil and for refining margins. Additional well write-offs in the range of 100 to 200 million are expected compared to the fourth quarter in 2008. No cash impact is expected, Shell said in a statement. Shell didn't offer a lot of details, but hinted that several of its segments would be impacted by deterioration in the outlook. Chemical cracker and immediate margins are expected to be materially lower. This announcement, Shell also said it would keep its full year capex in 2009 for the low end of its original guidance, 24 to 29 billion. This announcement comes a little over a week after Chevron revealed a much larger $10 to $11 billion write-down. At the time, analysts had warned Chevron would not be alone and that there would be more charges related to companies having overpaid for assets years ago only to watch the market deteriorate. Yes, the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston predicted this was coming. Now remember this. The market riggers control the price of oil and natural gas. Everything. The market riggers can do everything they want, anything they want to these prices. Why is it being kept so low? The smaller oil companies are going bust. I mean, these are the two biggest oil companies on planet Earth, Shell and Chevron. And they're losing money hand over fist. Or taking write-downs hand over fist. The smaller, I don't think they'll have a problem. The smaller oil companies have a huge problem, and it's not a problem for the oil companies. The oil companies will go under, and a lot already have. It's the problems for the banks that wrote them the loan. And that's what the Fed's trying to say, and why they sandwich Gusher National Bank between the GATA picture and Bedrock Bank, which happened in 2008. So I just wanted to point that out. Keep an eye out for bankruptcies in the oil and gas sector, which will affect the banks who heavily invest, really heavily invest in oil and gas equipment, especially land-based rigs in the shale area, mainly for natural gas. The world's getting crazy, folks. And go check out the Road to Ruta write-up on the new $100 bill. It's really cool. And then pull one out of your pocket and take a look at it. And then flip over the $1 bill and look at the pyramid in the Grand Canyon. It's Bix Weir, Road to Ruta. Talk to you later.